Hey, this is Alessio coming at you at the top of the episode, just letting you know that if you like what you listen to, consider supporting us. Patreon.com/Metal Gear Mondays. We also have an Amazon affiliate link, which is new, and you can find that as a pinned tweet at the top of our Twitter at Metal Gear Monday, or in the latest posts on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Metal Gear Mondays. We will have a short URL or like a bit.ly on that soon, but right now it's just like weird Amazon number gibberish, so use those for now. But yeah, enjoy the show, and this is your skit. In the late 20th century, hostile forces inside the United States grow strong. The city of Los Angeles is ravaged by crime, immorality, the loss of Kojima Productions, and devastating wildfires. The current president of the United States has half-assed a handful of tweets about the current situation, but... the current president of the United States has declared a state of emergency as a doomsday weapon has fallen into the wrong hands.
Pliskin, you've been pulled from the general population in order to embark on a search and rescue mission. It's of vital importance.
Call me Snake.
All right, Snake. Happy? You go in, find my doomsday device, bring it out in 8 hours, and you're a free man.
8 hours, huh?
I'm making you an offer.
Bullshit.
Swearing is outlawed in our moral America, Snake.
I'll think about it.
All you've got to do is find a specific gift card.
What kind of gift card?
Know anything about the Apple Store?
Deja vu. No. Do you mean the Sharper Image?
No. They went under years ago. Something about some terrible steaks. Anyway, what do you say?
I'm still thinking.
Think hard, but even harder, because this is a sequel.
You load me up with a pair of vintage Air Jordans, a Walkman, 200 cartons of American Spirits, and all the trucker smut I can carry, and I'm yours.
Half those things don't exist anymore, and the other half I've never heard of. What else you got?
Can I get maybe a bitchin' black trench coat, an overpowered machine gun, and a surfboard?
Surfing is outlawed, too.
Surfing is out. The gun's in the coat, then.
Now you're talking. Come with me to the medical wing, and we'll get you all ready.
Fine, but no needles.
Placebo nanopoison served to you by 3 projections that all look like your father?
Sure.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, you are listening to episode number 87 of Metal Gear Mondays, the Games Club podcast covering all things Metal Gear from left to right, inside and out, in pseudo-chronological, historical, recreational order. No one rides into my town and disrespects me. Not Snake, not no one. I'm your host, Alessio Summerfield, and this week I'm joined by...
Fuck you, I'm going to Hollywood. Damn right. I'm back and black. And normally that phrase would be back in black, but I mean back and black because those are both true.
Wow. Well, I can't follow up with any of that, so I'm just going to say... Hi.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
As above, so below. We have Sam back, but we have to banish another member of the.
Yeah, we had to get me back. We had to banish James to the Shadow Realm again. So I'm back, but James, one of these days, it'll happen.
No emergencies or anything like that. James just is.
Just a couple of tired boys.
Some I almost said some sad boys. We're the sad boys. He's
that
the tired
too sometimes.
Boy.
Although
we're all sad boys.
The people who don't Patreon the Patreon won't know what we're talking about.
That's very true.
Did you say Patreon the Patreon?
Patrons of the Patreon. So James was on our if you wanna spend $2 a month to get access to some more podcasts from your boys, you can listen to how I winter holiday depression played my way through God of War. and how we talked about how good it was. But James is on that episode, so he's not on this episode. We recorded both of them today, so that's the what's the
What?
Wow.
What? You guys record? Did you say record? Anyway, let's get into the news real quick before we get into our main topic.
It's time for new news. Metal Gear news!
Yeah.
This week's news, some of this is not Metal Gear, a lot of it's not Metal Gear related, but we're just going to talk about it anyway because it's fucking dope. Neon Genesis Evangelion was acquired by Netflix.
Whoa.
All 26
Yes.
episodes and both movies. That's
I can
huge.
just watch it whenever I want to now without going through a fucking rigmarole.
Yeah, and allegedly it'll be in better quality. So
Yep.
take all those DVD fucking bootlegs and flush them down the toilet, kids.
Yeah. PSA, if you've never seen Neon Genesis Evangelion, we are very excited about this. And it's kind of related because, robots,
It's true.
giant mech things.
Yeah.
Evangelion is very good, but also it's very depressing.
It's extremely depressing.
So if you want to go into, you need to be in like a place like emotionally stable before you watch it.
Yes.
I guess it depends on the person, but yeah.
I think that's all fair. And I think one of the other things that I want to plug right here, and I'm sorry that if I sound as if I am buying time very subtly with my slow talking, it's because I'm trying to fucking remember the name of this show. Friend of the show, Alice Chang, this might be a bold claim, but maybe we can all decide together now, told me that you should watch this mecha anime because it's better than Evangelion.
Whoa.
Yeah, and at the time I was taken aback. I've watched 3 episodes thus far on Amazon Prime is the only place I've been able to find it. I don't know why I'm having a hard time finding it now. Oh, I found it. It is called oh man, I cannot pronounce it, but I can see it with my eyes. Razophone.
Oh god.
It's RAHXEPHON.
Huh.
Pretty good.
Persephone?
Sure. It came out in 2003, so technically it's older than Evangelion. Or excuse me, younger than
what?
Evangelion.
Okay, I was about to say.
But I'm 3 episodes in. It's pretty good so far. I don't want to give
Make bold claims.
yeah, I don't want to make any bold claims like somebody we know.
Alan.
But if you're looking for some mecha anime and you end up tearing through Evangelion when it comes out, you should try that. The 2 movies I would say are pivotal, you guys. So one of them is called Death and Rebirth, or maybe Rebirth and Death. I think it's Death and Rebirth. And the second one is called End of Evangelion. Those 2 movies are kind of what's happening in the real world while Shinji is having his meltdown in the last 2 episodes of the show. So you should watch those because those 2 movies actually conclude the story, and they are also acquired with the show by Netflix.
Very good.
So
So here's how we tie this into
yeah, let's do it.
Metal
What you
Gear.
got?
In which we've done this before in a previous episode back in Metal Gear 1.0. Evangelion is people piloting these like humanoid looking mechs, much like in Zone of the Enders, which is a Kojima Productions video.
That's
game
true.
by
Wow.
Hideo Kojima.
Orbital frames, you guys.
Frame Jehuti.
So speaking of space shit, our second item, this is actually Kojima related, adjacent.
Space shit.
21st Century Fox just trademarked Alien Blackout, I think. Is that right? Alien
Yeah,
Blackout?
for like video game stuff.
Yeah, for video games. However, coincidentally on the same day, Kojima mysteriously tweeted pictures of him at the 21st Century Fox HQ playing with alien stuff. And apparently it's got everybody in a tizzy. And Jeff Keighley
Love a
just
good
announced
tizzy.
that there are going to be 10 brand new games announced at the Video Game Awards on December the 8th.
And if Jeff Keighley says it, it obviously has something to do with Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, so
Because Jeff Keighley is so far up Hideo Kojima's asshole that he is paying rent.
Do you guys think that Jeff Keighley is actually like the real Jeff Keighley died about 15 years ago, and this is just like a weird homunculus that they keep around that like Kojima's spirit
To
flows
show for
through?
Kojima. He's preparing him. It's like Get Out, except for like Asian man into white man.
no.
So like when Hideo Kojima is like too weak to go on, they'll use Jeff Keighley's spry body to propel him forward. We should try and like get Jeff Keighley on the podcast to break down this mystery.
Oh
once
yeah,
and for all.
right after that comment.
Yeah, no. We'll
He's
play
gonna-
that for him.
He's
and
like,
that might make him.
he's all about it, and then he gets to that point in the show, and he's like, "Fuck these boys."
He gets to that point of the show now. He's really about it for some reason.
Yeah, he's like,
whoa.
"Oh, I definitely have to talk." He's crying the whole time, but silently.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, back into more Konami stuff. So we kind of did this reverse order. Konami re-ups their trademarks on the name Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid. Chances
Which
are,
excited me until
chances are it's only due to the PS Classic and the new Smash Bros. So
what does that gremlin laugh?
Isaac chiming in with his primo Dick Cheney laugh. But yeah, that's the news for
man.
November the 27th. I probably should have started
I
with
kind
that.
of want to see Vice.
I'll
by the
remember
way,
that at
speaking
some
of Dick
point.
Cheney.
Yeah, I definitely do too. Yeah, check it out. Also, I just found out today there's a streaming service called Canopy with a K.
Yeah, man.
If you have a library card, it's free.
What'd it do?
A24 just said that all 72 of their films are free on there now.
What?
Yep. And apparently there are hundreds of Hollywood classics on there.
But this is tied to your library card,
Yeah, so you have to go get a library card.
and not
I've
all
got
libraries participate.
No joke. I've got 2 library cards
Get them.
Dude, figure it out.
because the Seattle Central Library and King County have 2 different library cards for some reason.
Maybe one of them's
So-
cool and one of them's
Sam,
not.
do it
Maybe
right
one will
now.
have Canopy.
Right now.
I'll check it out. So does that mean that I could watch like 8th grade on there? And
Oh
read it,
yeah,
like,
they
right now?
literally, they 100% were just like, all our full catalog is on Canopy right now.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Something that I was reading just straight up was like, this is the like best kept secret in streaming. Like, why aren't people talking about Canopy more? So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
like a
pretty
lot
great.
of like really good movies. So like recently, that's 8th grade, which is
Hereditary.
a great, fantastic movie. Hereditary, Lady Bird, Moonlight. Those are like some like
Yeah.
really recent examples.
ton of great shit.
Moonlight,
Like Ex
the
Machina.
Ex Machina, yeah. Moonlight, which was of course the runner-up and also winner for the Academy Awards
Yeah.
the year that it won for Best Picture.
Oops winner. The We Fucked Up winner.
The We Fucked Up winner, yeah. So if you're into that kind of thing, Tusk, Kevin Smith
Oh,
movie,
yeah,
yeah, that's A24.
Oh, fucking mid 90s that just came out is A24.
Yep.
And that I almost
Yep.
said that game. That movie's great. But yeah, cool. You guys want to talk about more movie stuff? And by more movie stuff,
Yeah.
do you guys want to talk about Escape from L.A.?
I would love to.
Okay.
What?
I loved Isaac's. Ooh.
I don't know about that, boss.
Yeah, so we're almost done with our movie season. This is Escape from L.A. Right after this, we're going to be talking about From Russia with Love. I've never seen that film before, and I've hardly seen very many Bond films, so I'm kind of
Same.
excited.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're done with movies for a while. So
Shit.
right in, you guys have until, let me double check. December the 15th, I think, should be clear. I believe. Let me verify that. I might be wrong. I know that we always say get them in by the 15th. Okay, if you guys want to be 100% doubly sure that we read your response on the air, get them shits in by December the 11th if you want us to read.
So I'll put this out into the universe. I've had a lot of good time fun with this movie season. And I think that we should, in the future, revisit it for like a movie season 2.
I agree. Yeah, I think doing a movie season maybe around the fall of 2019 would be great.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and there are tons of movies that we could talk about that we haven't talked about.
Well, I mean, on the first movie episode, we like listed a bunch of movies that we could watch,
like 30 or 40.
Yeah, so like I think a yearly fall tradition for a movie season on the show would be great.
Yep, I think it'll be good too. Yeah, so let's. This movie, you guys, it's very weird. This movie is the weirdest, most like video game sequel of a movie I've ever.
This movie is, I
It's
think,
so
maybe
weird.
my second favorite movie of all time.
Okay.
Dude, it's fucking.
I think I can't supplant Scott Pilgrim, but I fucking love this movie.
Yeah, so check it out, you guys. So I think it's very clear to see with this movie in particular that like, had we been able to condense all of the things we wanted to talk about into one main episode, I think Terminator 1 and 2 would have been a great one episode kind of thing. And Escape from L.A. and Escape from New York would have been a good comparison one episode. But like, maybe if the whole point of the episode was to compare them, but since we did like a deep dive on each of them, this movie is like, just like Terminator 2 was to Terminator 1, this movie is just like, hey, we took Escape from New York and just kind of like fed it more money.
Yeah. And like even more so than Terminator 2 was, this is like the beats in this movie are so identical almost.
Oh, dude, I found there's a Vimeo video that somebody put together that is a frame by frame, like side by side of every single shot from both movies that are like duplicated. And it's ridiculous how many shots are reused.
It's crazy. And then of course, like, then you have the greatest scene in movie history, which is the surfing scene.
Oh,
most
of course. Of course.
So
Yeah. All of the CG in this, immaculate.
immaculate.
I don't know.
Which, like,
I don't know
even,
what
like,
other word.
So here's the thing. At the beginning, like when the earthquake and all the buildings were crumbling, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty goddamn impressive.
Yeah.
And
Until
then
you see the windows
surfing
on the
scene
building.
happened. Yeah. Then the surfing scene happened. It was
Dude,
like,
the submarine
honestly,
scene. Woo.
I texted Alessio this morning and I warned him. It's like, I'm going to be talking about the surfing scene almost exclusively during the podcast today.
I feel like Leslie Nielsen should have been in this movie. Like, that's the kind of level we're at.
Can we run down some of the names that are in this movie, though?
Yeah.
we've got-
Let's camp out on the guy who plays the president when we get to that one.
Okay. So we've got Steve Buscemi. Why did I say
Buscemi?
that?
We got Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi. We've got Steve Buscemi. I can't say it like a normal fucking
We got
person.
Steve
now.
Buscemi.
Buscemi as Eddie Map of the Stars.
I love Steve Buscetti.
Scammy.
Why can't I say Steve?
We got Steve Ooh, you scared me.
Buscemi. Steve Boo. Oh, sorry. Scammy. He scared me. Holy shit. Spooky month's over, Steve. What are we doing? Oh my God,
Oh,
Steve.
geez.
You gotta calm down with that shit, man. I can't do it.
We've got
Yeah, it was
we
so-
got fucking Jane
yeah.
Fonda's dad.
Yeah, Peter Fonda.
Oh, which for the surfing scene, just so you know, it's Kurt Russell surfing with Peter Fonda.
Yeah, which okay, great. We've got an almost actually unrecognizable Bruce Campbell.
Oh, absolutely. Like, we have handsome Jack Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, like I didn't realize that was Bruce Campbell until later.
Yeah.
I was like, in the movie, I was just like, "Where's Bruce Campbell?" He was in the credits, and I was like, "Oh fuck, he was
Yeah.
the plastic surgeon." Yeah,
I want to talk about that scene a lot too, because there's
Yeah.
a lot of weird shit in there.
yeah. Who else have we got? We've got Pam Grier.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because she who plays a transgender woman,
Yep.
which is great.
Yep.
And I've got some. I have some things to say about that as well.
That was the only thing in the
it was
movie
rough.
where I was like, oh no.
Yeah, so we'll get to that.
Oh man, I meant to include that in the skit. I was gonna have right before you guys leave. I was gonna have Isaac. I was gonna have Isaac get his crotch grabbed by Snake, and then just have Snake go, "Oh, I'm just looking for your gun." I forgot to include that in the skit. Damn it! I knew I forgot a
we
line.
can. No, it's okay.
Nah, it's fine. It's too late in the evening.
Yeah, it's too late. It's
Oh,
too
we've
late
got
now.
Stacy
Who-
Keach. That was the
Yep.
fellow that played Malloy. The big one is Cliff Robertson, the guy who plays the president. I think is that guy.
Yeah.
Dude, if you kind of squint your ears, I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
He kind of sounds like Paul Eating.
Yeah, I noticed
Like
that
a
too.
lot.
Like the Colonel. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, I wasn't sure if that was just me or if it was like.
Oh no,
But yeah,
it
no,
wasn't just you,
I-
sweet baby
I
Sam.
got it.
There's a lot of
What did you just Sweet Baby
Sweet
Sam.
Baby Sam. We'll talk about it as we get through this stuff, but like there are a lot of this was lifted for Metal Gear Solid 1 in this.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's wild. Like I was kind of caught off guard. Like it wasn't
Well,
like
even
Escape
from the
from
beginning, like
Yeah.
the submarine, even at the beginning,
Oh.
was like, oh hey,
dude, the music. Anytime
Yep.
they cut back to that briefing room, I was like, this just is the music from Metal Gear. It's like a step away from. It was wild. Anyway, yeah, we can talk about it when we get to it. I wish Metal Gear was this goofy.
yeah. Like I wish there was like a surfing scene in Metal Gear. Like there's a lot of stuff.
I mean, there's
that,
some
like,
goofy shit in Metal Gear, but I don't think
Oh, yeah.
Solid Snake ever races a shot clock on some 2-point shots while he's got a
Oh,
fucking
no.
sniper rifle aimed at
That
his
was
face.
fabulous.
Right. There's a lot of stuff, which, and that scene too, there's some stuff in that scene that doesn't pay off that I was a little mad about. We'll get to that. We'll get
Was
to
it
that. as
was
well.
it that he didn't shoot any fucking 3-point J's? Because he definitely got a full court shot in there.
No,
at the
he
end.
got a fucking full court one-handed.
That was some
full-court bomb
NBA
in it.
Jam
No.
fucking triple front flip fireball
Yeah.
moves.
Well, I was expecting him to fight that dude with the fucking hedge clippers.
Oh, right.
They kind of showed that, and then we're just like, was that just to show how anarchy it is there, or what? But,
Yeah, it was a little nuts. How did you guys come about? How did you guys watch it?
I actually own it.
Oh, nice. DVD,
But I've
VHS,
never-
Laserdisc?
Information disc or instruction
Oh,
disc,
very nice.
actually.
Hologram.
The hologram, yeah. Actually, so I've had it on DVD for a while, but I'd never watched it.
Ooh.
Like I do that with a lot of shit.
Oh,
Like,
so
I
you've
have a
never
bunch of
seen it?
movies.
Ever?
No, I had seen Escape from New York for the first time. Not for the first time. I'd seen it before. This was the first time I'd watched Escape from L.A.
Whew. So good.
Yeah.
Same.
So good.
Isaac, I'm assuming you hit up your friends on the inside of the
Hey,
prison
man.
island to get a special copy mailed to you.
Yeah, it was Pliskin's personal copy.
Oh, very
He
nice.
slipped it to me.
Fun fact about this this whole situation. So for Escape from New York, I hit up my friends on the prison island, but for Escape from LA, I own it. I don't own Escape from New York. I just own Escape from LA for some reason. I don't know
That's
why.
fine. One kind of
That's all you need.
overshadows the other.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's very strange. Cool. Let's before we get into budget and stuff like that, let's just do the quick sort of synopsis stuff real quick at the very beginning. So obviously we're gonna dig in a little deeper into the plot here, but like effectively all you need to know is like I was kind of confused by this is gonna be the dumbest shit. I had to look up a timeline for the events in the Escape universe. Because
That is the most ridiculous sentence anyone's ever said.
yeah, at the beginning of this, it's like it talks about how in 1998 this shit is happening. I believe, or yeah, it was in
'Cause-
1998. The president starts talking, the presidential candidate or whatever.
Yeah.
I-
Because the first movie takes place in 97, right?
Yeah, that's what it. So in my head, I was like, I thought the first movie took place in 98 as well, and so I was like, how the fuck is this guy a presidential candidate when we've got the other dude going through a crisis who is the current president, with there being no mention of like a race coming up? And so I was very caught off guard. I was like, are they retconning who the president was? Like, what is this? But you're right. It's 1 year later that this situation plays out. But then the primary events of the film are set in 2013.
Yeah.
So, anywho, Snake is once again called by the U.S. to recover a doomsday device from L.A., which has now, oh my God, guys, become a prison island.
Prison Island.
It's weird how that happens. You know what I really, really badly want to see is I want to see this get fucking rebooted.
Oh, I
see,
know,
like,
yeah.
I want to see like
Oh,
Escape from London with like current era Kurt Russell.
Well, no, it's got to be further up because the first one was it Prison City,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and then
And this
this
was
one's
Deportation
Prison Island.
Oh, it's got to be a prison planet.
Prison
Yo.
Planet. So it's
Oh
gonna be
no,
like
it's
Mars.
Escape from
No,
Australia.
a prison
It's a prison.
No,
country.
yeah, Escape from Australia, prison country. No. We have to do Escape from Australia because Australia is a country and a continent
and an
Oh,
island.
perfect. And an
and
island.
an
guess,
island. So
technically.
then we'll do like Escape from.
They can make it one
America.
mega city in the future too.
Yeah, we'll do Escape from America where he's in
Escape
Canada.
from America.
Yeah.
just
Which
Just
is
sounds
him
really
running
goofy.
away from President Trump.
Like super, it would be super poignant also for today's audience.
True.
And then we can do Escape from Australia since we're doing a continent,
Oh, nice.
or like Escape from North America.
I just want to say Escape from Prison Planet.
Yeah, we can work our way up. Then Escape from Earth.
Yeah.
Give me
Fuck.
to Mars.
I'm just remembering all the gags I wanted to play. I was going to open the episode with talking about how we're covering Christmas Chronicles, starring Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken as Santa Claus. I don't know. Have you guys seen that?
No.
I have not.
So
Is
I
that a
watched it.
thing?
I watched it over the holidays because Netflix was all about it. But they were like, "Hey, we just made a new Santa movie. You need to watch it. It just came out." So for Thanksgiving, Kristen's parents wanted to watch some Christmas movies, so we watched like the Jim Carrey Grinch, some classic stuff, and then this just randomly was popping up, and we were like, "Fuck it, let's watch it." Kurt Russell plays Santa Claus, and it's like a very snaky Santa Claus. Like some little girl's like, "Hey Santa, say ho ho ho," and he's like, "I don't say that anymore." And I was just like, "Oh my god, it's pretty wild. It's pretty funny. I enjoyed it.
I really
actually.
would love like a modern day, like with like Kurt Russell, like now playing.
Oh,
With
absolutely.
his fucking like big ass mutton chops and shit.
Yeah. What sucks, you guys, and this is the part that I was kind of trying to shield everyone from. This movie had a budget of $50 million. This movie did not make its money back.
Yikes.
No.
This is probably the biggest box office blunder that we've covered for the show. I think every movie that we've covered so far has actually had like a rags to riches kind of like, oh, they made it for $1 million and made 40. This didn't even make its budget back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opening weekend was about $9 million roughly. Grossed in the USA $25 million, and then worldwide it only grossed about 17. So
Yeesh.
it's a little bad, man.
That's rough. I feel bad.
Yeah, it was in development for like a decade too. Apparently, and
How do you remember how much the budget for the first one was?
I think
Like,
it was 6 million.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So, and it made way over that. I think it made like 40 something.
Yeah.
So interesting. And I don't know. I was reading some stuff earlier today before we started recording about John Carpenter was saying that it was actually Kurt who really kept pushing it. Because John Carpenter said that like kind of a sequel almost got greenlit really early on and never actually happened. And so Kurt was the one who for like 10 years just kept on keeping on, trying to keep the project alive. And so it's the original producers, so John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, but Kurt Russell himself was a producer on this film.
And a writer, right?
Yeah, and a writer. So it was John Carpenter, Nick Castle, Deborah Hill, and Kurt Russell, but the two primary writers are John Carpenter and Nick Castle.
Kurt really wanted that surf scene
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I
100%.
was gonna say I feel like it's Kurt's the reason why we have the surf scene.
in the
Oh, yeah.
basketball.
Oh, yeah.
And the basketball scene. Kurt Russell is a fucking national treasure.
I really wish that like OJ would have made an appearance. They just make it LA as fuck. I really wish that Kurt would have gotten into like a white Bronco and then gotten a phone call and just been like, "You know who this is? It's Snake."
And my favorite thing about it too is that oh, never mind. I was gonna say something dumb.
Oh, you're totally fine.
He's not from LA.
This is part of the sort of dystopian future disaster prison escape film series as the first one. Just touching on the sort of core stuff here real quick as we wrap up the generality stuff. The Metascore for this guy is 54. Not great. The previous film was 72. IMDb gave it a score of 5.7 out of 10, which I believe was out of like 64,000 reviews.
Boo.
And
Too low.
I know, and IMDb voted it the 2,704th most popular film. The first film, I think, is in the 1,200s. I will say, however, and this is weird, I believe Roger Ebert gave this fucking movie a 4 out of 5.
Really?
Yeah, it might have been a 3 out of 4, but it was like high mark. He said...
That's why we liked him.
Yeah, Roger Ebert was like, I don't know what it is, but I can't help but smile when I see Snake paragliding over Walt Disney World opening fire on terrorists. And I was just like, I think you summed it up perfectly. Like that's pretty much it.
getting attacked by a shark as he submarines
Oh,
into
gosh.
Universal Studios.
So random.
This movie's great, man. Like I don't know. I thought all of me was going to hate this. I had a very good time with this
But
movie.
do you think that they were self-aware about how goofy it was?
Oh, I think they were, man. Because when Snake
They
comes
had to
out
have
during that
been.
introduction at the beginning, the main bad female is like,
Yeah.
"That's a little outdated, isn't it?" And he's just like, "Ugh." And like, I think they're kind of, to get into the whole, like, we were going to talk about the meta context of sequels and how it ties into Metal Gear. I think this movie is kind of like the MGS2 of Escape from New York, where they literally are just like, we're going to recreate the first film, but kind of do it with our tongue buried deep in our cheek. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's like even like when they explain like what their plan is, like you got to go in and do this with this, and he goes, and I bet you think you can inject me with some poison. I'll do whatever you say. Sounds familiar, or whatever he
Yeah.
said. Like,
And then they do it, except they don't even
Yeah,
fucking
and they-
inject him. Like,
yeah, it's like they did it in a flashback.
yeah, it's wild. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I found this film to be pretty enjoyable. I'd be a little bummed out, I think, if they tried to do like Escape from Toronto. That I think, unfortunately, I just don't know if the people would come out for it based on the numbers I'm seeing here.
Mm-hmm. Well, you want to know something crazy? Just looked it up. Roger Ebert gave this a 3.5 out of 4.
Whoa!
There you go.
Even
There you go.
better.
Yes,
God bless you, Roger Ebert. I love that, man. Yeah, it's great, man. This is kind of like, I feel like this was Crank for like 1996. You know what I mean? Just like the fucking weirdo, surreal, fever dream action movie
yeah.
for that year. And good on them for sticking through and making this thing. You can tell they had fun.
Well, because you know how they're releasing like a bunch of John Carpenter movies, like re-releasing them in theaters in like 4K.
Yeah.
Escape from New York is one of them. Like,
Oh,
maybe
let's get that
that's
LA,
like the
baby.
spark. Yeah, I think maybe that's the spark people need. Because here's the thing, Escape from New York is a good movie. I very much enjoyed Escape from New York.
Oh, yeah, same.
That being said, if I said, okay, watch this movie Escape from L.A., I would be like so amped if they were just like, now guess what? Escape from fucking New Jersey is coming. It's coming. I'd be so like
Yeah,
hyped.
they're like Escape from Miami. All surfing all the time. I'd be like, yes, please.
Yes, please.
The whole thing is exclusively from a surfboard. So I didn't talk about how I watched it. So I watched it on a Blu-ray, and this is so Paramount issued this Blu-ray. So I was like, "Ooh, let's get in on this." Main issue here: the only extra on the whole fucking Blu-ray was just the theatrical trailer.
Dope.
Oh.
But overall, everything was great. So,
Hey, can I throw this out there too for
Yeah.
Escape from Miami?
yeah.
Peter Fonda's still alive, so
Ooh, shit. We got to get it going.
could make that happen. So.
Surf's up, motherfucker.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Okay.
All right, y'all want to dig in? You want to
Yeah,
jump
let's
into this
jump
movie?
in.
Let's do it. So here it is. It's the plot of the first film. All right, bye everybody. No,
Done.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
If
do
you-
it.
no, I was gonna say, Fumbling in the Dark with Isaac Lim, but it's essentially just go listen to the last episode. Okay, bye.
Yeah. Nice. All right, let's do it. So, Escape from L.A. Guess what? It opens with establishing what's going on with New L.A. I believe that it's a combination of the earthquakes and, in general, this weird subplot that they didn't really dive too much into, but
Yeah.
like the over-moralification of America.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Very weird.
Very
I don't know,
strange.
man.
Yeah, it's like we don't swear anymore. No more cigarettes. No more sex.
Well, it's because the president. So the whole thing is like
Yeah,
the
the president's
president's
like
just
a
like there's going to be
preacher.
a fucking earthquake, and there was, and then he got elected president, and then he became the president for forever.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
After issuing in like a military state.
Yeah,
He's essentially like
and
if
then
a televangelist preacher became the president. It's
Yeah.
kind of the vibe.
Yeah, he had that
think
speech
so.
in the beginning of the movie where he was pretty much shouting and condemning L.A., I guess.
Mm-hmm.
As
Yeah,
this,
calling it the city of Gomorrah
Yeah.
and Sodom. But yeah,
so very, very crazy.
I will say right off the bat, part of me was like, oh no. Is John Carpenter one of those dudes that's like wandering around right now being like, I don't like how PC everything's becoming. Where are the cartons of cigarettes and trucker smut?
But no,
But I
it's
think,
it's very
yeah.
much like a commentary on that type of attitude,
Yeah.
which is cool.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, so essentially that's kind of the deal is like, hey, LA kind of got broken off from the rest of California. They built towers around the coast. They're essentially just treating it like a prison island. I don't know if they actively send prison. Yeah, they do. They do. They do the similar. If you don't want to go to the prison island, tell a representative and they'll kill you here. Except instead of
Oh,
whatever
gosh.
it was in New York, here it's like an electric chair.
and they show it. They like pan over, and some guys are getting their heads blown up.
Yeah, this
In
is
the
the
electric
$50 million version of Escape from New York. All right, so we're seeing all of it,
Everything.
all the glorious CG. But yeah, and that's pretty much kind of what happens. And then sort of the hostage situation, akin to what happened in the first film. Instead of the president, it is the president's daughter hijacks Air Force 3. I don't know where Air Force 2 is. And
I can relate this to a story really just very
yeah,
quickly.
no, absolutely.
In Ohio there's a like a Japanese steakhouse called Sake. And then in a town like kind of close to Dayton, but on the outside of Dayton, called Springfield, there's a restaurant called Sake 3, but no Sake 2 exists
my
anywhere. We don't talk about Sake 2. Much like we don't talk about Air Force 2.
Well, I do wonder, do you think that's why Hideo Kojima wanted to call Metal Gear Solid 2 Metal Gear Solid 3
Maybe.
originally? Was for that?
It wouldn't surprise me. He's
Oh,
fucking esoteric
God.
piece of shit.
But yeah, so essentially what it is the president's daughter steals a prototype
Utopia.
weapon. Yeah, her name is Utopia. Oh man, I wonder if they're trying to say something there. The president has lost Utopia. And so she hijacks the Air Force 3 and she has this doomsday weapon and she essentially takes an escape pod down to LA. What's weird though,
Same fucking escape pod.
yeah, what's weird is the speech she gives is almost verbatim the speech from the first movie. When
Right.
she's holding everybody at gunpoint. There is a really cool thing, though, when we see this gunpoint situation. Snake Plissken, who gets enlisted by the government to go get the device back and kill the president's daughter. He's not supposed to rescue her this time. He gets to experience the whole thing in VR.
Yeah.
Interesting
that was the
editing
whole thing
happening
too.
here.
That was the other thing too, is that they were talking about how like after her sister's suicide, her sister committed suicide and like was like lost herself in her VR simulations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we see some fella who she'd been chatting with in some of these VR simulations.
Cuervo.
His name is
oh my
Cuervo
gosh.
Jones.
This little video, this 5-second video
Oh,
clip,
with the dove.
I love it. It's so good.
What kind of fucking name is Cuervo Jones?
One you
It just
don't
felt like
fucking
Kurt
talk
Russell
about.
It felt like Kurt Russell looked up, saw on the bar behind his kitchen wall a bottle of Jose Cuervo, and was like, "Wait a minute, Cuervo Jose. Wait a minute, Cuervo Jones."
Jones.
And then John Carpenter said, "I think you're on to something, Kurt."
Yeah, let's go with it.
But yeah, so Snake's introduced. They're doing this whole deal. It's sort of similar to It's sort of similar. It is the situation from the first one. He's literally dressed identically to the first film.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
for
neat
sure.
little detail is his jacket is way more worn down, which I thought was cool. He's doing the whole thing where he's just kind of being cool guy Snake. Some
Hot
fucking
shot Snake.
incredible one-liners. And effectively, once the plan has been revealed, they essentially tell him like, "Hey, let's do this shit." Blah blah blah. He tries to attack them, and then it's revealed that it's a hologram.
Yep.
And so this kind of ties in this whole like holograms, VR. We're in the future now. La di da. And from there, Snake kind of gets outfitted and tricked out in some very like what felt like the Matrix kind of ripped off.
He gets a dope. He's like, I only want the jacket. He's like, Malloy's like, you'll take all of it, and so he gets this like dope sneaking suit and this really cool jacket
And some sick fucking pistols and this crazy machine gun, and he just looks like he's from the Matrix.
Yep.
And then instead of taking a little plane into New York on the World Trade Center, he takes a tiny little submarine, except it's a nuclear submarine.
Yep.
It's
the best,
dude.
right?
Best scene right here, man.
Yeah, so he slides in there. 100%, it's just Snake from Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah, it's just the first scene. It's the fucking first scene of Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, this whole thing, music, the interrogation stuff, all of it.
The nuclear powered submarine that he jettisons from.
If Escape from New York had the whole like, oh, I hate needles, and the whole like, we gotta strip search you or whatever the fuck, this has the whole submarine entry. I half expected him to be. He's like, how am I gonna get there? I half expected them to be like, it's a one-man sneaking mission, Snake. Equipment is
Weapons and
OSP.
equipment, OSP.
I was like, what the fuck, man? It's
5.56ers and pineapples.
Yeah, it was wild. But we get one of the best lines in the whole movie, which Snake is not taking any shit. He's got to move fast because instead of 24 hours, it's a sequel, baby. He's only got 8 hours.
8 hours.
And he's flying around in the little submarine underwater going to the L.A. island, and they're like, Snake, slow down. You're overloading the system. And he goes, you slow down, dickhead. I'm the one who's dying here. It was so good.
It's so perfect.
Man. I want Solid Snake to talk like this. You guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is when Snake is like overloading the submarine's cores.
Oh, yeah.
And he like gets almost
races a
eaten by,
shark.
like, the best CGI shark I've ever seen, and then almost crashes into Universal Studios.
This
LA.
movie has some fucking Sharknado level CG.
Oh yeah. Oh,
and
it's
then
the best.
he launches it onto the island, tries to like pull it up, and then the island like breaks, like the flooring kind of caves in, and he loses his sub. And that's when we meet Peter Fonda and his group that never gets introduced again. Which is just some
surf
weird
dudes from hell.
Yeah.
Just a group of guys just chilling in the water.
Weird hazmat AK-47 wielding surfer bros. And that's pretty much it. After that,
Peter Fonda kind of follows him because he recognizes him.
he mentions acid rain that never comes back.
Yeah.
And Peter Fonda is all covered in burns.
Yeah.
Were
This
you
is
gonna
such
say,
a weird thing too.
sorry.
A weird like thing that you'll notice throughout the thing is that people recognize Snake as like, hey, you're Snake Plissken. You look familiar.
Yeah,
They don't do it
everyone's
as
like, he
much.
looks kind of familiar.
Yeah, I feel like New York was just all over. Hey, you're Snake Plissken. Hey, I thought you were dead.
Hey guys, it's Snake Plissken.
Where'd you come from?
Fucking Ernest Borgnine.
Oh, speaking of fucking Escape from New York and the Mermaid Man callback, as of November the 27th, the creator of SpongeBob died,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Damn.
which is awful. I think
Way
it's
to
like
bring
Lou,
that up.
He was
Lou Gehrig's
He was
disease?
diagnosed with ALS. Yeah.
Brutal. He was only like 57.
Jeez.
So I don't. Yeah, it's wild. I asked James, was like, what do you think Tom Kenny's doing right now? Which is the voice of SpongeBob, and James said, he's doing his fucking job, is what he's doing right now.
Damn.
He's like, he's not crying, no lost time. There's more SpongeBob to record. I was like, good lord,
damn,
brutal.
Jesus.
But yeah, so Sam, paint a picture of picturesque L.A. We've got prostitutes, we got bikers, we got a dead rescue operative who's like crucified, getting knives thrown at him. What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, you did it.
That's it. Okay, here's the thing that I don't get. So, I get New York was like all the criminals and whatnot.
Isaac's like, I get that New York is covered in filth, but why California?
Why?
This is.
Aren't
I know where you're
isn't-
going with this, Isaac.
Isn't LA like just the people that lost
Were-
their citizenship?
Oh yeah.
They get
So here's what I got.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the deportation stuff. That's actually
Yeah,
a
yeah.
really big deal.
Yeah, so it's a deportation, but it's deportation from like the new moral America. So like the prostitutes got deported, and like all those,
Not the
all the
hussies.
criminals got deported, not the hussies. So like all the sex workers got deported, and I try not to use the word prostitute. It's you know,
Oh, man, my bad.
that's like a thing. That's a real thing.
No, I know.
Like,
What, not
I don't
saying
like the word
prostitute?
Yeah, don't say that. It's
Oh,
sex
sorry.
worker, call
I
them sex
apologize.
workers. But yeah, so it's just like all of the people. It's essentially a prison island because all the criminals are.
This is like a
more
concentration camp island.
Yeah. So that's kind of why even though it's a deportation island, it's not like a normal deportation island.
Yeah, where blowjobs go to die, Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's not like mild mannered Jose from Mexico got deported to this island. You know, it's like everybody who did bad things got deported to this island.
Yeah, instead it's flamboyantly mannered Jose.
Yes.
Oh, excuse me, Cuervo Jones.
Cuervo Jones.
This is where all the
Why
caricatures
is
get
Cuervo
shipped.
Jones on this island? Isn't he Peruvian? Like, why is he on this island?
Yeah.
How did he get here?
Where did he come from? Where did he go?
Yeah, and then where did his like scientist friend come from? And then where did he go after he explained the
I don't know.
exposition?
There's some real like super mutant fucking California Republic experiments going on in part of this island as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're introduced to Steve Piscotty's character. He's the Stars tour guide. Follow the
Eddie,
Stars
Map
guy.
of the
Eddie,
Stars.
Map of the Stars. And essentially, he tells Snake, "Hey, I know how to get to Cuervo Jones, but you're gonna have to go through here, and it's this Beverly Hills area." And he's like, "Look, man, you're gonna need a map." And Snake's like, "Fuck you, I don't need a map," or whatever he says. He says something clever, I'm sure. And then it's at the Beverly Hills area that we meet a lady whose name I did not catch. Do you guys remember her name?
Taslima.
Oh, that's right.
Her name's Taslima. She says it like once, like briefly.
Yeah, under her
after
breath.
they escape from the weird.
L.A.
Yeah.
This is also
after
where
they get
Bruce
out of
Campbell
the
shows
weird-
up.
Yep.
So this is
So they're
Beverly Hills is
hiding in a
weird now.
bush.
Yeah.
He goes to hide in a bush, and then she's just like, "Find your own fucking bush." And he's like, "I don't need no fucking bush." And he goes to walk out, and he's confronted by this like dude in like a death mask, and he's like, "Ah, shit!"
It's
and then
some
he turns and he gets captured with a net.
It's some real raincoat killer, like Deadly
Yeah.
Premonition shit.
Yeah, very much so. But then she also gets captured, and then they wake up and they're on these like tables. And there's a lot. Isaac, can you tell us about all this like fucking creepy shit in this room here?
This messed me up, man. So I saw the
Isaac's
first.
gearing up for a good time, and they hit him
I know,
with
right?
creepy
Come
house.
on now. So I saw the first nurse, and I was like, "There's something wrong with her face," but I was
Yes.
like, I was like, maybe she's just ugly, and I didn't want to say
God. Isaac's like, I didn't want. Maybe she's just fugly.
maybe she's just one of those. But then like every single other character, all right, so it's this they capture people and they take their body parts and they plastic surgery them onto themselves. And something like is happening that they have to do it over and over and over again. I can't remember.
Yeah,
what was the reason.
I think they've gone through plastic surgery so many times that they like their bodies like can't sustain it anymore, so they have to constantly
Keep doing it.
like repair themselves.
It's some
Yeah.
real fucking the surgeon first boss from BioShock.
Yes,
It's like
Oh, yeah.
very
Yeah.
that, which is weird considering the tone of this movie.
yeah.
But this is that's Bruce Campbell is the head surgeon. I guess he's the general
Surgeon General of LA.
Yeah. He's got a real handsome Jack face.
Yes.
And it's really hard to tell that it's him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But this whole sequence, it's real weird. They set it up and they show it to you, and then they kind of just like move through it pretty fast.
That's it,
Like
yeah.
our guys
and
break
they
out
never
and get out of
never
there.
revisit it. Like Snake uses this mouth dart that he got from Malloy and them.
Oh yeah, which is fucking
to, like,
hilarious.
Yeah, to stun the Surgeon General, and then he like by chance, like as he falls, his like blade that he was gonna cut his eye out with cuts him out of the table, and he kidnaps, like he like holds him hostage, and gets
Takes
them,
his gun.
get his gun, and like makes them like follow his orders so he doesn't kill him. And then he's gonna leave Taslima there, and it's his fault that she got kidnapped, and she has to plead with him to not like go without her. And then he's like, oh, fuck, fine, and he like has them cut her down, and then they escape.
Yeah.
They like escape into the sewers, and then that's it.
Yeah, specifically the Surgeon General is just like, oh, this beautiful blue eye. It just gets very creepy. Oh,
Too bad
and I
you
forgot
only
that
have one.
Bruce Campbell straight like gropes to
Yeah,
Zlima.
he
He like
grabs
grabs
her,
her
uh,
breasts
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's like, oh,
He's-
they're real.
Yeah,
It's very
very
uncomfortable.
weird.
strange.
But yeah, they get out of there. They're escaping while escaping, which is most of this film.
Although I will say, like between Taslima and
My Date with the
Utopia,
President's
'cause
Daughter.
yeah, My Date with the President's Daughter. They there's nobody in this movie that really matches up to the glory
Maggie.
that is Maggie. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That distracted me. I was just like, oh, bazinga, Maggie.
Oh, Maggie. They had to nip that in the bud real quick.
Yeah, they replaced
This one.
objectifying women with making fun of trans people. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, not good.
Not good.
Yeah, not a good look.
Also, I didn't get to like say that since I wasn't on the last episode. I just want to say this really quick since we're on Maggie. Her fucking death was brutal.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Holy shit.
It might have been the most gory death in that whole movie.
Yeah, for sure it was.
It was, dude. They cut to her. She was still like very clearly like oozing blood out of everything.
Yeah.
It was
Ugh,
insane.
okay. Yeah, I was just like, oh fuck. Yeah. Maggie, oh no. Tits still on point though. Tits still on point. Anyway.
But yeah, so they get out of there, and Snake comes across Cuervo Jones's motorcade. Essentially, they go to this bizarre area, right?
Yeah, I think this technically happens before he meets Eddie, actually.
Oh, that's right, because this is how he meets Eddie. Yep, I forgot about
Yeah.
this. Yep. So we should
but yeah.
touch on that a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, so this parade is happening. And I think he like taunts Malloy on the radio. He's like, I'm going to go see the parade.
Yeah.
Because he like finds the pod and it's empty, and then Malloy asks him what he's going to do, and he goes, I'm going to go watch the parade, and then he just goes
Yeah, he just
off.
storms out.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
Cuervo-
it's after he finds the dead guy, is what it was. Not the pod, I don't think. It's after he finds like the
I
dead
think
rescue
you're
guy.
right. Yeah, I think you're right. You're right. But yeah, so he's like watching Cuervo, and like Utopia is in the car with Cuervo, and she's like wearing a fucking
Dude,
bikini now.
she's wearing this like the greatest go-go boots
Yeah,
this side of Zardoz.
That's yeah. So he's in the car. She's like, it's like president and first lady in the lead car of the like presidential motorcade and shit. And then Snake notices that there are these motorcycles following Cuervo. So he hijacks one of the motorcycles, has like this dope motorcycle battle.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
fucking amazing.
and then Cuervo notices him, and he's like, "Hey, I think that's Snake Plissken."
Yeah, from a distance. Is that
From a
Snake
distance.
Plissken?
Yeah. But yeah, so he goes on this fun chase. He blows a bunch of shit up, and then Cuervo is entertained by Snake, and then Snake like does this very fabulous CGI jump onto a truck bed behind Cuervo.
Oh yeah, fucking
and then
magnificent. It's like
Yeah.
the thing that cringe gifs are made out of on Twitter.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then Cuervo gets worried now and calls for his bolas,
Oh yeah, he pulls out
and
his
chucks
fun balls.
chucks bolas at Snake and strangles him off of the truck. And then 4 of Cuervo's men show up and are gonna shoot him, but he like goes, "Hey, let's play some Bangkok rules.
Oh,
which is
dude,
like a
I
shootout.
fucking I love it. Yeah, it's like a
then
Mexican
he-
standoff, right? Kinda.
Yeah, and then he goes, "I'm gonna when this can hits the ground." He picks up a can, throws it in the air, and he says, "When the can hits the ground, we draw." And then he throws it into the air, and then of course he draws and shoots them all before it even hits the ground.
And then it hits the
And,
ground, and he's like, "Draw."
Yep.
And it's like,
And
I was
then-
like, Snake's a cheater. That wasn't cool.
But I thought it was really
I
funny.
kind of laughed at that part.
And then he
Of
at
course
this
you
point
would.
loses his jacket. And
yeah, his
as he's
dope
running
jacket.
away from more guys, and it's very important that one of Cuervo's men picks up and puts on the jacket.
Well, he'll come back when we play some basketball.
And then the best part that we kind of missed in the transition from this to Eddie was that he finds Eddie's like stand, and he pulls up a chair just like in Escape from New York and just sits down and just like, what the fuck do I do now? And that's when Eddie pops up. So
Yeah, it's pretty dope. But yeah,
but yeah, so anyway, so right back to them escaping from the
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills
Yeah.
plastic surgery place.
They get to like that
This-
interstate bridge, and our
Yeah.
poor girl, right after she got done telling Snake she wanted to like make romance with him.
Yeah, well, so that's my favorite part about it is they have like this conversation, and she says she broke up with her boyfriend today, and she wants to make him feel good, and Snake just says some like weird shit and walks away, which is just like, Snake doesn't know what sex is. I wonder where
'cause-
that came from.
Yeah, she's like, I just want to make you feel good, and then I was
He
like,
says,
all right.
He says, "The future's now." I'm like, what the?
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck do you mean? But yeah, so he refuses this sex and moves on, but he's followed by her. This one, he says that her name's Taslima. And like they have this like heartfelt conversation that she was banned because she lived in South Dakota and she was a Muslim, and that's
Oh,
why she
yeah.
was deported.
It's
she was-
so weird
she was
when these
deported-
crop up. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
I think Kojima would go further with this because it's like essentially, if you can imagine Kurt Russell like getting on one knee and having a PSA is kind of like how the end of every Metal Gear is like,
Yeah, it's very strange.
This is why we should defend our truths. But like in this, it's like very sporadic.
Yeah, and in this one, she's just like, I don't want to be out in the rest of America. I want to be here. The rest of America is the prison. Here, I can be free, and it's not so bad. And then she immediately gets shot by this. She warned him about this gang called the Korean
Golly.
Dragons.
I don't
Yeah.
know why I'm laughing, but it's just the way that it happens. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, she just
instantaneous.
immediately gets shot. Yeah,
Well, those fucking
And,
the South Koreans roll out in like that little like red roadster, little
Yeah.
drag racer that looks very Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Mm-hmm. Like there are plenty of cars in this movie that I was like, I'm pretty sure that the San Andreas guys just like lifted these car designs.
straight up. Yeah,
But they're kids, weren't they kids?
Oh yeah, they were.
yeah. They're like they're
babies.
very young.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
The,
Yeah, they just like blew her away, and then they were like, and then got out of it.
But yeah, so this is when Eddie picks, like, he's trying to run away from the gunfire, and he climbs an overpass, and Eddie picks him up in this real nice car. And then Eddie presses a button in his car and shoots Snake in the chest with these darts from the glove compartment.
And then Snake starts
And he reveals
tripping
that-
fucking balls.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool.
Yeah, this is actually kind of cool, the scene. And Eddie's explaining that he's Cuervo's agent, and that Cuervo's lets him borrow the car sometimes, and then he gets knocked out, and he wakes up elsewhere, and Eddie's telling Cuervo what Snake is here for.
Well, more
And this is the
importantly,
one
Snake is handcuffed to a treadmill,
yeah, made to run on it.
made to run forever.
Yeah, and then the scene is essentially this very brainy smart guy explaining what the Sword of Damocles is, and this is his
Very
one and only
Otacon. Very Otacon.
Yeah, it's very
Oh, yeah.
Otacon. This is one and only scene in the movie. He is just in this movie to exposition what this like weapon is. and
Well,
then
he's in the
gone.
background in a couple scenes too, which is weird
Is
to
he?
me. So I wonder if there was more cut stuff with him, but it's like
Oh, yeah,
he's
probably.
so geeky about this thing that it's very Otacon. And what the
Yeah,
weird
like-
thing is, like I've
like, I'm
recognized this guy
thinking-
from a ton of other movies. He's in The Bone Collector. He's like Denzel Washington's like stay-at-home nurse guy.
okay.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of other shit. But yeah, this guy was way underutilized.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, like, what did you do to get deported?
Yeah, who are you, dude?
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, and
unanswered questions.
Cuervo takes this moment once they've learned how to use the Sword of Damocles, which is like a really dope name for this doomsday weapon, by the way.
Yeah.
They essentially record their requisite "I'm a terrorist" like capture video, and the funny.
And by the way, that's how they realize that Snake is still alive.
I was
They
gonna
thought he
say-
dead. They see him in the background of the fucking
like
terrorist video,
Like
running on the treadmill.
Yeah, they thought he was dead because they lost his signal, and then they just go, "Mr. President, look, there in the
It's
background."
Snake. He's still alive.
They have no idea what he's doing. He's just like running.
They don't even question it. They're just like, oh, okay, he's just doing what he's doing.
Yeah, they weren't even like, what's he doing there? It was just a
Yeah, they're just like, oh, he's still alive. Great, and that's all. No more questions, please.
But they demonstrate the Sword of Damocles' power by turning off all of the power in Virginia, right?
The new
excuse me.
capital, the president's hometown of Lynchburg,
Virginia. Yeah. And so the president calls his wife. His wife's talking to him on the phone, and then her line goes dead. And Cuervo Jones is like, "Do you see a taste of my power?" And the president's like, "Oh no!" But all I'm thinking is, okay, they can't make phone calls. Like, what's the issue here?
It's just the power, right?
Yeah, it's just the power went out. Like,
Come on
okay,
now.
whatever. But yeah, so Snake eventually gets off of his treadmill, and there's a big shootout. I'm trying to remember, how the fuck does he come out of the treadmill lock? Do you guys remember?
I don't know
I
if
think
they show it.
they take him out because they take
that's
him
right,
to
that's right,
the,
that's right.
the basketball game.
Yeah, that's right.
Basketball.
The single. This is my favorite scene in the whole movie, I think.
Yeah, Isaac, can you? I want Isaac to.
Yeah, I wanna hear
explain the
Isaac's
basketball scene.
description of what
he's
the fuck
been. He's
this
been
is.
like giddy about it all episode, so I want him to do.
I was just not
We
expecting.
gotta
this
talk
at
about
all.
the failed original participant before Snake shows up.
Jeez.
So the
So-
rules of this game, right?
Yeah.
So you have a shot clock of 10 seconds
Per
and
shot.
You have to per shot. You
Yeah, I
can't
was a little-
miss any baskets.
I was blown away because at first I thought it was like you got to do it in 10 seconds. And when
Oh,
Snake waited
yeah.
until like 2 seconds left to take his first shot, I was like, dude, you're fucked.
Yeah,
I was like, what are you doing?
Each shot is a 10-second shot clock. You have to take shots. You have to alternate sides of the court, and you have to get 10 points. All shots are worth 2 points. No 3-point bullshit is what Cuervo said, or something like that.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what
it was
I said.
literally what he said.
Yeah, and you have to get to 10 points, and you can't miss a shot. If you miss a shot, if you don't make the shot clock, or if you don't get to 10 points within get to 10 points at all, then you are murdered on sight.
And not just
So-
regular murdered. You were shot into Swiss cheese by like 20 dudes.
Yep, and this guy that was participating beforehand, I think, had 8 points, and then he missed his last shot and got shot.
Yep.
Which here's the thing: they got gunmen all around the court,
Yep.
and they're all
when I was young, I
firing
used to want to be
in
a
the
gunman.
middle.
Yep.
Yeah,
How are they not shooting each other?
each other. Yeah, we don't ask questions like this. Because it's the best movie ever
Good.
made.
Yeah, because Roger
everybody
Ebert
came
gives
to
us
that
a 3.5
realization.
out of 4.
Yeah,
Sometimes
right.
Oh.
you just have to let your
Imagination.
just run wild. They were all hitting him perfectly, and all the
Okay, right.
They're the opposite of stormtroopers. They're also, keep in mind, this is all happening in the center of the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, which all I kept thinking was, oh my god, even Duke Nukem 3D fucking stole its final set piece from this movie.
from this movie.
Like, this movie influenced a lot of stuff.
Apparently.
It's wild.
And then the other thing too. So the other thing is that in another separate cage, this is where I was just like, "What the fuck? Why didn't you have to fight that guy?"
Yeah, it's a real fucking Karlov smoking like weird machete scissors.
Well, he has like these I call them like hedge clippers, because that's kind of what they look like. But he's just like fighting this guy, and he cuts his head off with hedge clippers and gets splattered with blood. And I was like, "Is Snake gonna have to fight him?" And I was like, "No, he'll just play basketball, I guess."
Oh yeah, Snake's gonna do what Snake's gonna do.
So talk about Isaac. Talk about Snake's like.
Well, I was going back to the
Oh,
the hedge clipper guy.
yes.
So he just picked a random guy who was going to cut his head off? Because who was the guy
No,
they didn't really bring that up. He just...
No, they
They
didn't
just
explain
panned
it.
to this.
It's just-
LA's brutal, guys. That's all you need to know.
I think it was like. It was meant to call back to the big dude that he had to fight in the first one in the ring,
Oh yeah.
and then they
Zangief.
just decided to do Zangief. They decided to do basketball instead.
Yeah, they're like, that's old shit.
Step
We're on
up,
that new
step
shit.
up.
Cuervo's
Hoops.
having like some shit about like everybody thought you were dead and people thought you died in Cleveland. There's a lot of mention of Cleveland.
Oh, dude, there's a whole lot of like, I don't go to Cleveland. I'm just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck happened in
It's
Cleveland?
like I thought you died. We almost got you in Cleveland and like all kinds of stuff. But
Well, it's like in the first film, it's Kansas City. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
Kansas
Yeah.
City.
they play that too because fucking what's the fucking Brain in the first movie
Yeah.
betrayed him in Kansas City.
Yep.
And then we're gonna find out later on there's a character that we'll talk about that betrayed him in Cleveland.
Oh yeah, they come up.
So yeah.
Oh, I don't know what Snake's doing in these Midwest cities.
Yeah,
But
he
apparently
needs to
the
fucking
Midwest
stop.
is where all the shit happens.
Yeah, he needs to stop going to the Midwest because he's getting betrayed and almost captured.
I want to
It's
see in
too
the third
good.
film, they're just like, oh, Dayton.
Dayton. Dayton, and then the fourth one is St. Louis.
Very weird. Very weird. But yeah, this is fucking nuts. Essentially, Cuervo Jones steps out like some gladiator stuff. Mm-hmm. Shoots a thumbs down for
that's
the
why-
hedge clippers.
No,
To,
yeah, that's what it was. I
Yeah.
think it was just like some gladiator games.
yeah, he shoots a thumbs down. Hedge clippers take that man's head clean off.
Yeah.
And then he explains the rules of lunatic basketball to Snake.
Yeah. And talks about how there's like a weird twisted play on if you can make it like you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, where it's just like LA can kill anyone.
Oh yeah, dude, it was crazy. So like me, Kristen, and I was gonna say me, Kristen, and Jerry. Me and Kristen have been talking about a West Coast move, and Jerry was up on the couch while me and Kristen were watching this. And as soon as he was like, "LA will kill anybody," I look over at Jerry and his little tail unfurled.
Oh no!
And I looked at Kristen and I was like, Kristen, I think Jerry's scared to move to LA now.
It's so the crazy thing. So the weird thing about this movie
All of-
too is
all of it?
I just wanted to all of it. Yeah, which you said, it just reminded me that because you watched it with Kristen, is that you guys made a point in the New York episode that it's much more enjoyable when you watch it with people. Mm-hmm. LA is probably more enjoyable if you watch it with people, but it's very enjoyable by yourself.
It's like a very weird meditation on like
Yeah.
surreal action. It's weird. So keeping in the spirit of Escape from New York, Kristen fell asleep in the middle of this movie as well.
Beautiful.
And so I was like, here we are again,
How?
old friend. It's just me and Snake. Yeah, I don't know how she fell asleep. She just, I would look over and she would just go, this is fucking stupid. And then I'd look back at the movie and then she would be asleep. And I was like, all right.
Anything? Well, to be fair, anything that we do involving this podcast, she thinks is stupid,
Oh,
including
no.
the podcast.
Oh,
So-
no. No, she's come around, I think, on the podcast,
Yeah.
but she
I only say that because I know she doesn't listen to it.
yeah, fair enough. You get a text in like 3 days. It's just like
Yeah,
fuck-
it's like
fuck you,
Sam. It's like, oh,
Um,
sorry.
But yeah,
Love
so
you, Kristen.
this amazing. I was laughing so much this whole time, like the
I know,
dead
right?
seriousness.
So
Dude, it's some fucking like, what if we put a slow mo layup in the middle of this escape
Yeah.
film?
What if we give him a half court bomb and then give him a one-armed full court bomb?
Dude, the one armed full court. The thing I love the most about it is it's a single, unbroken, wide shot.
Yep.
So you know
As
that
to ins-
motherfucker did it.
Yeah, which is just like, how many takes do you think that took? Kurt Russell must have felt like a fucking champion if, in fact, he did do that.
Yeah, you just see the back, so it might have been another dude, but it killed me. I was like,
Yeah.
hell yeah. There's
Well,
your
this whole
receipt.
scene was in slow motion the whole time.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, well, we're doing this.
Yeah, the cutting towards the end on some of it was like, hey, in the wide shot, I saw you only had 3 seconds left, but when you cut to the tight, it said 4 seconds. What are you doing here, y'all?
And I think it's funny, like he like transitions because he starts with like a simple layup, and then his like he has to rush harder. And
he
like,
doesn't transition. That's carjack.
Yeah.
Which I don't get. You would think 10 seconds is enough time to get from
Get
one
across
to
the court.
other.
Yeah.
Well, they explain it as he has to go grab the ball, and then he's getting tired. So
Oh yeah.
God.
When he's I just want to see the scene reshot, or not reshot, but the audio just changed up to be the Harlem Globetrotters whistling theme. And just like in regular speed, like no
man,
tension,
somebody needs
just
to do that.
so good.
yeah.
But yeah, so he makes it.
So yeah,
He makes
it. Takes it.
Cuervo's not
Cuervo's
letting
just
this
like-
stand, and he just starts opening.
Well, my
fire.
favorite thing about this too is just like in the first movie, as he does better and better, the crowd starts chanting snakes.
Yep. Yep. Oh, as in the
And-
first film too, Cuervo's got a really weird, eccentric car covered in doll heads.
Yeah.
Unlike the Duke, who had the chandeliers.
The chandeliers, yeah.
Yeah. I wish that Cuervo Jones would have had like a the pronoun name.
The
You know what I mean?
The
'Cause I love
Cuervo.
the Duke.
the Duke. The Cuervo.
The Cuervo. But yeah, tell us more about the outbreak that happens here at the Coliseum.
Yeah. So Snake wins, and everybody's just like, "What the fuck do we do?" And Cuervo's like, "I'm gonna kill him anyway." And Utopia's like, "Yeah, he won. You can't kill him."
Yeah, and he's like,
And
New York
it's
or
just-
L.A. loves a winner.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, fucking Eddie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, and can we talk about
but,
the
like-
Randy Newman, like, I love LA, like, he's on all the time in this movie? I was like, what is happening?
But yeah, so Utopia's starting to realize that like she's in some shit, and says like you can't kill him, he won, and then Eddie's like, Cuervo's like, I'm gonna do it anyway, and he misses, right? No,
Yeah,
an
he
earthquake
shoots
happens.
well, Snake climbs the fence, and when Cuervo takes the shot, it like bounces off the top bar. Of
Well, I think
the
there was like
fence.
some earthquake or something that
Yeah.
happened that
Oh,
messed
yeah,
up the
the
shot.
aftershock.
So that's why he misses the shot as like Snake starts climbing the fence, and then Snake escapes, and I think isn't this when he creates a Molotov cocktail out of a car?
Oh yeah,
Whole car.
yeah. He sticks a rag in the gas tank of a car and then lights it on fire and blows it up. And then
Somehow
I think,
that works.
It's as a distraction so that he could get into Cuervo's car and take the sword of Damocles.
yeah, he steals
And
the
he
device and
does.
then runs to the sewers. And then the president's daughter confronts him, who he almost kills. And she says, like, no, take me with you. And I think he agrees to, but that's when Eddie shows up and fucking shoots Snake in the leg.
Yeah, and then another earthquake happens, another aftershock happens, and then the sewer collapses, and Snake gets washed away. And Eddie's like, hey, Cuervo, I killed him, I shot him, and I got this back. And Cuervo's like, where is he? And he says, well, I killed him. He washed away down the tunnel. He says, well, then you know where he is.
I
Bring me
love
back
it.
his head.
I love it. Oh, and
then
real
Snake-
quick, auto editing. It's Chekhov's smoking gun. I don't know why I said Karlov's smoking gun. Just want to go ahead. My brain just caught up with the dumb shit that came out of my mouth.
What about Karnov's smoking gun? Can we do
What about
that?
Carnitas.
Carlor's smoking gun?
Cuervo's smoking gun.
Oh no, I love it. That's the name of the bar that I'm going to open when I'm 80.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Cuervo's smoking gun.
It's like Margaritaville, but better.
Yeah, and it shakes every once in a while from earthquake aftershocks.
Sometimes you'll get shot in the leg if you're really lucky.
Oh yeah,
Man.
this sick basketball game is going to be in the middle of the restaurant.
Oh, yeah,
The whole
for sure.
time.
This is gonna be a great bar.
Yeah, perfect. But yeah, Snake soaks down through the sewers and encounters Peter Fonda again.
Yep. I like how that. You know how sometimes when we talk about the movies that we talk about, we just instead of saying the character names, we say the actors'
Yeah.
names. We have to call him Peter Fonda because like they don't give this guy a name.
Yeah, in the credits, he's Pipeliner, I think. Something weird like that.
Great.
It's real dumb.
It's California.
So we
man.
meet Peter Fonda again.
Yeah, so Peter Fonda. So here's my theory. I think Snake died when he got shot, and the septic shock from the sewer water just ended his life. I think that's why the end of this movie is so bizarre, because I think this is his death journey. He's surfing tsunami waves. He's fucking flying off the Hollywood sign.
I will accept that.
Yep.
I like
got
that
it. I'm into
better.
it.
Yep. Anyway, so he encounters Peter Fonda, who's being a fucking nut in the middle of this trench. And he's like, "Oh, tsunami waves, my man, they're coming." And he fetches Snake his own surfboard.
Yeah. He said, "You're never gonna make it out of here in time. You gotta surf out of here." Mind you, Snake has a fucking bum leg that just got patched up. And of course,
God,
this
I love
beautiful-
this.
This is my. I
Sam,
think
take it
this
away.
may be
This is you,
my
sir.
favorite scene in modern film, maybe this film in general, where from behind, it's like Peter Fonda briefly explains how to surf,
Oh yeah,
and
very
then from
quickly.
behind, the CGI
The buggy,
wave.
the
Oh my
CG
god! And
buggy.
the CG buggy.
It just gets swallowed up by the
Comes
fucking.
and sweeps up this CG buggy.
I think the actual car versus the CG buggy looks completely different.
Oh yeah, because it's the normal. It's the normal car, and then the moment the water touches it, it just transforms into like.
Into this little
It looks like a
bare bones
reboot.
buggy.
It's like a reboot
It
character.
does look like reboot, doesn't it? So of course Snake flawlessly knows how to surf,
Oh,
yeah.
instantly.
and these two are surfing the waves, and then of course on the overpass next to them surfing, Eddie's driving looking for
Chilling.
Snake, and
It
then
looks like
Eddie
some shit
looks.
straight lifted out of Robert Rodriguez' Sin City, by the way.
Oh yeah, and it's straight up super like, oh, this is like CG as fuck. Like it's amazing. And Eddie like looks to the side and goes, "You got to be fucking kidding me."
No shit.
All the
Yeah, and
while, there's
and then
surf
keeps
music
on-
playing in the background. Just,
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yes.
just switches to surf music.
Yeah. So Snake sees Eddie. Eddie sees Snake, and Eddie just keeps on driving. And then Snake high fives Peter Fonda.
Oh, I
and
forgot
goes,
about that.
Thanks. Then he high fives and says like, "Thanks, dude," or something like that.
Yeah.
And then surfs off to the side, jumps from the surfboard onto Eddie's car. A fight ensues, and then Snake knocks Eddie out and like forces Eddie to take him to Hershey, because Hershey is he learns from Peter Fonda that Hershey is Cuervo's hated enemy, and that Hershey will be able to help. And Eddie Eddie takes Snake to Hershey.
When Snake said to Peter Fonda, "Thanks, dude," I think he says "Thanks, bro."
I think he might have said "thanks, bro." Either way, he says something. He says "thanks." Well, first of all, he thanks somebody,
Which is weird.
Second of all, he says like he uses a word like "dude" or "bro."
He's like,
Yeah.
leader.
Later,
Yeah.
bro. But he high fives him, and in that moment, Kristen woke up, saw what was happening, and then I said, "Hey, I think Kurt Russell wrote this part with crayons, Kristen." And Kristen just goes, "This movie's still stupid," and then goes to bed. It was.
How
it
dare
was
she
rough.
insult the best scene in modern cinema?
Oh God, it was fucking
A+.
amazing. Yeah, I was. I was roaring.
I like to think that Roger Ebert was gonna give this movie 3 out of 5, and then he saw this scene and was like, "No, I can spare a 0.5 for this."
Yeah. Yeah, so let's talk about Hershey, because I think right after this Hershey thing, it's pretty much just all guns a-blazing until the end of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So let's talk about Hershey and what actually happened in Cleveland.
Yeah. So they get into Eddie gets them into Hershey's like sanctum, and then you see this like female, like curvy female figure,
Yes.
and then this figure speaks, and it is the voice of a man, very deep voice.
Yeah, from behind it looks like Foxy Cleopatra from Austin Powers 3.
Yeah, which is funny because Foxy Cleopatra was based off of characters that Pam Grier played
Oh, that's
in like
awesome.
old blaxploitation movies.
That's awesome.
But it turns around and it's Pam Grier, and Snake is like, "I recognize that voice. You're my old partner, Carjack Malone."
Carjack.
Yeah, and
That's his name.
yeah, and it's like, "I'm not Carjack anymore. I'm Hershey." So Carjack has gone through a transition, and Carjack is now Hershey.
I just can't believe that Pam Grier, like, we're talking Jackie.
to this?
We're talking Jackie Brown herself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe that she. It's very strange.
Yeah. So Snake is just like, All right. And then, of course, they have, because there has to be a transgender person still having a penis joke, feels up Hershey and finds a gun, like, in her inner thigh and goes, like, what does he say? He says, it's nice to know you're still packing heat down there or something like that.
Yeah, and then
Like
pulls
heat
a
between your
pistol
legs
out.
or something.
Yeah.
I was like, this is gross. I don't like this. This is the thing. This scene is probably, and like the refusal to like call this person Hershey like she wants and things like that is probably what brought it down from a 4 to a 3.5 for Roger Ebert.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's obviously played for laughs, and I think like back then it probably would have been like I would have found it way funnier, but these days it's a little hard to get into.
Yeah, the crazy part to me was sort of this weird world building throwaway line that happens, where like Snake's like, "Look, if you help me get out of here, they're paying everybody who helps me $1 million," and she goes, "Greenbacks? I got 10 million of those in the room next door." And then Snake goes, "No, bluebacks." And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? But that gets her all excited. Like, she's just like, oh, okay, let's do it. So they hatch this plan, essentially, to kind of get back at Cuervo.
They're talking, so they hatch this plan to get back at Cuervo, and they're trying to go find him at like the Happy Kingdom. And they're like, well, by car, even if we go this way, it's going to take like 2.5 hours. And the sage Asian man is just like, no, we go by air.
Oh, yeah.
Or something weird like that.
Yeah.
And then they decide that their plan is that they're going to hang glider off of the lift from the fires around the Hollywood sign and hang glide down into the Happy Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
Which is amazing.
And it looks pretty sick.
But before... Eddie is just like, I have an idea, and he takes an information disc or instruction disc and uses one of Hershey's nail polish to paint a red dot on it to make it look like the instruction disc for the Sword of Damocles, and he's going to try and make a swap-a-roo.
Oh yeah, it's a little Texas swap. Is that what he calls it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Texas swap. Yeah. So in this scene, Alessio, do you want to talk about this scene here? They're the best hang gliding scene.
Oh yeah, it's this we're continuing the surreal insanity, and like Cuervo's men are all kind of like huddled up in this area, and Snake and the gang just kind of fucking swoop in like hawks of war, and just like open fire on these dudes, and it's like all hell cuts loose. It's bananas.
Yeah. Eddie makes the swap, and then Snake comes in and saves him. And so
I mean, it's pretty like not quick, but it's pretty like, I don't know, it's not as, in my opinion, I don't think it was as sort of climactic as the Duke battle on the bridge. Like this is just sort of like they're all shooting and shit, and then the helicopter just kind of shows up. Cuervo like blows up part of the helicopter, but they still kind of managed to get out of there. So like there wasn't really like big.
Well, so the implication too is like the everybody dies implication is that when Cuervo blows up the back of the helicopter, it kills Hershey and the rest of her men.
Yeah.
And Utopia and Snake are the only ones left alive.
Yeah.
Because they were in the front. And Eddie sees the rocket coming and jumps from the helicopter and gets trapped on the island and demands and yells at Snake and demands they come back for him. Mm-hmm. So that's funny. A point I want to make really quick about like this back half of the movie is kind of another thing to tie it into like the whole Metal Gear Solid 1 versus 2 thing, that dynamic that this movie has is Metal Gear Escape from New York is ridiculous, but it's a little bit more, it's way more grounded than this movie is. Mm-hmm. And then you have the second one, Escape from L.A., which is way more grounded, which is grounded to an extent, but after a certain point, it just fucking goes off the rails, kind of like Metal Gear Solid 2 does. Mm-hmm. So I just thought that was interesting.
Oh, yeah. This just goes completely fucking buck wild here at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all bets are off. We're just going to get crazy town.
Oh, yeah. Let's get crunk. Fuck it.
Yeah. So it becomes very power fantasy, like on this back half. But yeah, Sam alluded to, the whole back of the helicopter gets hit with a rocket and everybody dies mysteriously, except for Utopia and Snake. And they end up flying over, even though all their systems are kind of failing and the helicopter's starting to go down. I think Snake, doesn't he like eject Utopia out of there?
Well, so they fly past the point where they're supposed to land.
Yeah, the pickup point.
And Snake is trying to give Utopia a chance to escape, but he puts the remote for the Sword of Damocles in her pocket before she jumps out of the helicopter, and then he goes and lands.
Yeah, and so there's this whole sort of calling back to the end of Escape from New York as well. There's this whole situation where like they're all there to meet him. Snake's like, hit me with the shit, like get my poison out of my body. Let's go. And then they sit there and let the clock run out. And it's like, whoa, dude, but he doesn't die. And they're like, oh, you really bought into that. Earlier in the film, somebody alluded to the fact that it was a placebo drug as well.
Mm-hmm. Hershey does, yeah.
Yeah, and so Snake, they tell him essentially they just stuck him with the common cold.
Like a fast-acting flu.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh. And so they take his remote, or they're going to go take his remote. Snake's like, oh, come over here and get it. But then some guards pull Utopia out of the bushes, and they're like, hey, we found her. And then right before the president talks to Snake to get the remote off his hands, they check Utopia's pockets, and they find her remote. And so they're like, oh, you're trying to pull a fast one on us, aren't you, asshole? And so again, the president's like, get me up for transmission. Like, let's do a broadcast real quick.
Mm-hmm. And just has the presidential podium just there.
Yeah, which is funny to me.
Great.
They start like assembling it and stuff. And effectively what ends up happening is the president kind of, in and of itself, like the president presents it as in the same way that Cuervo was presenting it, which is sort of like, oh, another subplot for this film. We have these Cubans and these Mexicans and these folks from why am I totally slipping on this? Puerto Rico are trying to invade the United States, as are these other countries. And so he's like, hey, we're going to terminate all the power in your fucking space if you don't leave us alone. And they're like, we got 2 hours until they touch base in Miami and wreck shop, which would be a great allusion to our Escape from Miami, if that ever happened. And effectively, the guy goes to hit the thing, and it's like, isn't it like infomercial audio?
It's Eddie's star map.
Oh, that's right. It's one of Eddie's star maps.
Yeah. So he's playing this, and so the switcheroo he did was he kept the real remote and gave Utopia the fake one, knowing that they would probably do this.
Yep.
Can we also talk about how after they find the tape in Utopia's pocket, he like sentences her to electrocution, his own daughter.
Yeah, he's like, you couldn't do it, Snake.
Well, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Very strange.
It's crazy.
So he plays a thing, and he condemns Snake to execution, and he's like, and I want everybody who's on this broadcast to watch this. And Malloy orders all of his men to fire on Snake, and it turns out this whole time Snake's been a hologram. So at some point between when he crashed and when he started talking to them, he was a hologram.
Spoilers for The Last Jedi, but this is very what Luke Skywalker does at the end of that movie.
Very much, yeah. So fucking Last Jedi lifted from this movie.
Where the fuck are Kurt Russell's royalties? Lucasfilm, huh?
Kurt Russell should be in Star Wars.
Oh God, he'd be Luke's real dad.
Real dad. Ray's dad.
Oh no, if only. But yeah, so effectively it's revealed that he's a hologram. But right before that, they tell him, they're like, oh no, it's right after. They're like, Snake, you got to make a decision. We know that you've always been Mr. Lone Wolf, and he's like, you win, they lose. They win, you lose. Nothing changes. It stays the same. And then he types in the world code, which we've not talked about it until this point. It's 666. Yeah. 6. Which is fucking amazing. And then they're like, no, Snake, don't hit that button. If you hit that button, it's going to fucking
set us back. Everything we've achieved for 500 years.
Yeah, it's going to set us back to the Stone Age. And Snake just looks at him and says, fuck you.
Yeah, and then he turns the power off on the whole world. and the hologram fades.
Except
And then
Snake says the single greatest line before the
well,
credits
so
roll.
he finds a pack of American spirits on the ground in the woods.
Yeah, of course, where they grow.
Where they grow next to the hidden wood porn. As all young men know about is woods porn.
Good old woods porn.
Woods pornography. He finds a pack of American spirits, and then the stick matches they gave him at the beginning of the movie when they were running out his equipment. That Malloy says you never know when they'll come in handy. He uses it to light up a cigarette. And then as he's lighting the cigarette, he notices the audience.
Oh yeah, he looks right at us.
Right at us.
He looks right at us.
Blows out the match. And then as the camera fades to black, he says,
"Tell me, Sam."
he says, "Welcome to the human race." And then the credits start rolling.
Oh man,
That's the fucking movie.
that's it.
And I was into it all the way.
All the way. It's such a
Fucking
good fucking
sweet
movie.
Jesus, you guys.
Again, we try our best not to do like tangible ratings on the show because it kind of ruins the spirit. But I'm gonna be honest with you, A+.
Dude, I love it.
Well, okay, A- for the weird transphobic shit, but still,
I'll dock it for the transphobia stuff. I think the other thing that I just wanted to mention is I kind of feel like the music was a little lazy. Like the original score stuff, it's just John Carpenter's score for Escape from New York with some strings added to the background.
It's just I laughed so hard because the
opening credits
at the beginning were the same text, the same font, except
they added the green
music
box.
was more extreme, and the green box is like it was way more 90s.
It was way more futuristic. They're like, "Fuck it, dude! It's no longer the 80s; it's the 90s." Yeah, it was wild. I enjoyed it. Isaac, what did you think?
Hmm.
Was it a cinematic masterpiece?
So,
or-
yeah, it's hard to put this into words, you know. I enjoyed it. I will say, it was. I think it was a little dated, a lot dated.
I think that's what added to the mystique.
Of course.
The mystique. Wow, this game does not have mystique. Or this movie.
But like New York, this movie lends itself heavily to Snake's one-liners, and
that
that definitely bumps up the rating. But I think in a nice cheesy way, this movie's a solid A. In Roger,
solid A.
Solid A.
In Canada.
It adds
Solid
a really weird wrinkle to the self-seriousness of the band Escape from L.A.
Oh,
because there was nothing cheesy about those.
I
boys.
was trying to figure out why they chose that name.
I don't
like
know.
while I was watching this movie, I was like, nothing.
Isn't
reminds me.
that your rival
Right.
group from when you were deadweight?
It is. All these years we've been trying to figure it out, and we're not one step closer to any answers.
Nope.
But you're one step closer to the edge, and you're about to break.
Yep, absolutely. Shut up when I'm talking to you. But yeah, I don't know. I like I said at the top of the episode, I did not expect to enjoy this as much as I did. But I had a good time with it, and
Yeah.
I think it's like cinematic. I don't know. Cinematic, like analytical toffee for you to chew over and review and think about. Not at all.
The answer is yes.
Yeah. The answer is 100% yes. But yeah, I think seeing these people do these things is great.
A lot of people are not for the just turn off your brain and enjoy a movie.
There's modes,
like
man.
argument.
You know what I mean? Like there's a time and a place.
Yeah, you can't be too self-serious about yourself Sometimes you just gotta watch a movie and just enjoy it for what it is, which is fucking stupid and amazing.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, Kojima, thank you for stealing all of these ideas. Kurt Russell, thank you for writing all these ideas because we wouldn't have had them to steal.
And especially in crayon, otherwise they wouldn't be nearly as good.
Yeah, exactly. And boy, oh boy, do I wish that Metal Gear Rising would put out a sequel so we could get even more goofy, non-self-serious Metal Gear after seeing this.
Yes.
I want to see Raiden surf a fucking tsunami wave.
Which like wouldn't feel out of place in the
Not
universe
even
of Rising.
remotely. So yeah,
Surfing on his sword.
Oh god.
I love it. I want more fucking one-line. I want to go back and play all of Metal Gear now, just listening for one-liners. Because like I feel like
See how many are lifted wholesale from
Yeah.
the Escape series.
Escape from New York and Escape from L.A. have actually like somehow given me a greater appreciation for cheesy action one-liners. Like these stand on in a class of their own.
Well, it's like there's a Hall of Fame for it, man. There's like a whole. We could do like a master class on action movie one-liners.
Yeah, half the fucking Hall of Fame would be in these movies.
Yeah,
Like it's
for sure.
great. So yeah, anyway, check it out if you're into goofy, over-the-top action flicks with weird plots. I, going into this, was sort of under the impression that this movie was far more meta than it was as far as sequels go. It's there. It's pretty present. You can fucking taste it when you're watching it. I think there are literal moments where characters are just like, yeah, like before, but bigger now. You know what I mean? So like, there's definitely some commentary on like action movies and sequels. I do wish that they would have gone maybe a little bit more like Cabin in the Woods with it, if I'm being honest. But that's just my taste. That's my taste personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is worth a check out, and I'm really glad we did it for the show. It was nice to watch it, and it's been nice to watch movies that I don't typically spend a lot of time with. So
Yeah, I'd always had heard of these movies, but I never actually sought out to watch them. So yeah, it's good.
And now I own these. So thanks guys.
Me too.
Yay!
Right?
I say
Me too, thanks.
me three. But yeah, that's awesome. That was Escape from Los Angeles. We went through that whole episode without
Yay.
saying Los Angeles.
Well, now, not anymore, fuckhead.
That's right. Yeah. So let's plug some things to plug. We now have an Amazon affiliate link. You can go to twitter.com/Metal Gear Monday or facebook.com/Metal Gear Mondays and see the link that way. I'm going to try and turn it into a bit.ly or like a short URL or something soon, but right now it's all just Amazon gibberish. Outside of that, you can hit us up at all the places. We are working towards SEO stuff. It dawned on us, I think last episode, me, James, and Isaac had a conversation off mic that if you look up Metal Gear Solid Podcast, even though we have the domain name claimed for MetalGearSolidPodcast.com, it's really fucking hard to find us on Google until like the second or third page. So we're going to make more of an effort to get the SEO squared away for this show. So what that means is I am going to find a way to make the website project work for the amount of money that we are currently bringing in through Patreon. So I know the goal's $100. I know we have been bouncing between $93 and $103 back and forth for a while now. I think I'm just going to lower that tier down to about $80, and we're just going to call it complete because I'm going to start looking into affordable solutions for us to get the full-blown, fully featured website up and running. But ways that you guys can help if you can't kick us any money is through any sort of linking, commenting, mentioning, or recommending of the show on websites. Either writing articles about it, referring people like games journalism outlets to the show, mentioning it in Facebook groups, that kind of thing, the more links to MetalGearSolidPodcast.com organically, the more Google will kind of push us up in the listings. So that's our big internal project. Honestly, that'll probably come to fruition more towards the beginning of the year, but we are getting started on that. So, yeah. Sam, Isaac, where can people find you?
I want Isaac to go first this time.
I'd love to.
I would love to.
I would love to.
Just send me your
Be
your
careful,
details. Doesn't have a twit.
Send me your details. Send me those digits.
You've gotten some new followers, Isaac, but they say that the account seems inactive because
Who said that one?
There've been some people tweeting at Metal Gear Monday saying, "Hey, I know that's supposed to be Isaac's Twitter, but I'm just not seeing anything on here. Is he still using it?"
There's a paid tier where if you pay $5, you can see all my tweets. That's why nobody can see my tweets.
Oh, gotcha.
Invisible ink.
It's Isaac's personal Patreon.
It's fumbling. Patreon.com/fumbling in the dark.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a thing. You know how we went to isaaclim.com and it was that really great Christian music? Hold on.
I think really great might be an over exaggeration, but
Maybe a little bit. Hold on. Fumbling in the dark.
.com?
No, I'm not.
Whoa. Careful.
Oh, I was like, wow,
Patreon-
this could be bad.
Patreon, there is not a patreon.com/fumbling in the dark, so
Hop
Well,
on
there
it,
you go.
Isaac.
but now
I might have to do it.
dark.com.
Uh-oh.
Oh, don't tell us.
Sam
Oh,
gets
no.
Sam gets eaten by malware.
How bad is it?
Remember that one really weird experimental thing I did where I turned into like a robot at the end of the episode for the whole thing? What if that happens again?
Oh no.
Well, it's not loading, so I'm over it. So you can find me on Twitter at Sandul. That's SANJUUL. I do stuff on there. I have a lot of hot takes and cold takes, and lukewarm takes.
I like it.
So takes of all temperatures, please,
I like it.
are welcome. Anyway,
And you can find me at AC Summerfield or www.ac Dumbledore.ac.Summerfield.com.
//dash.com.
I also, you guys know the places. Patreon.com/Metal Gear Mondays, all those things. We
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. Yes,
Instantgram.
please. They're great.
Metal Gear Mondays. I'm a big fan of what I'm doing there.
As am I.
So you should check out. I do every week. I do a clip from the previous week's episode, where I take like a minute or two, sometimes more, of just a clip that I put stupid GIFs and pictures and stuff over, and it I feel enhances the experience.
Of course.
So
if we had the budget, we'd do every episode like that.
Yeah, for real. So if you enjoy the podcast, you will get enjoyment out of the Instagram. What I found is that using the Instagram to essentially give to people that don't listen to the podcast that ask what it is perfect. It's like if you've ever, like, I know Alice on like an episode where we discussed with her, she had discussed like, I don't know how to explain this podcast to people. Give them the Instagram. Let them watch some clips and judge for themselves.
Yeah, and if Sam just said that and confused you, and you're like, I don't remember anybody saying that. Guess what? Y'all got some secret extra shit coming at the end of the movie season. So, Heyo, Alice, we did not forget you. I know you just got back from Japan. I'm sorry that the episodes still aren't out yet, but we have a strict schedule to stick to. God damn it, we are professionals.
Speaking of Alice, can I just say, did she send Alessia? Did she send you a really nice message when she got back?
She did send me a message when she got back. I don't know. I I don't have
Well,
I don't
like,
have a
just like-
I don't
just-
have a measuring stick to.
Well, just like
To
a,
figure
just
out
like
how
a,
nice I
just
am.
like a hey, I'm back from Japan. Here's this.
Yeah, she sent me a pretty amazing picture while she was in Tokyo of all of the Shibas she encountered.
Oh,
And there's a photograph of 3 black and tan Shibas that look like Jerry, and then a man holding a bag covered in prints of black and tan Shibas. And she was like, "It's starting to get annoying."
oh.
And I was just like,
Do you
"I want to live there. I want to hold those boys."
We need to take a Metal Gear Mondays field trip to Tokyo at some point in the future.
Tokyo. All right.
And we just need to like. The only
Isaac's
thing
like,
we
"I'm
do
already there."
Yeah, Isaac's been in Tokyo this whole time. We just need to always do for the show is just film Shibas.
Oh yeah, that's all we do the whole time.
Shiba Gear Sunday, baby.
Oh yeah, sweet baby dogs.
Shiba Inu Sunday. Anyway,
What's weird though is like right now. So we've been decorating the house a lot for Christmas stuff. 'Cause that's a big thing that Kristen does after Thanksgiving. And I've been
which is
helping
really
her.
funny because you guys are not going to be in town for Christmas.
Yeah, very true, very true. But what's funny is like, whereas all of the cats have been loving all of the shit we're pulling out of the basement,
Is Jerry not a fan?
Jerry seems to be afraid of boxes.
Hey, Frank is too.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I don't have an animal, but if I did, they'd probably be also afraid of boxes.
He's afraid of bags
She
and
was
boxes.
selling boxes. It's weird.
Yeah.
Huh. Is it so? Is it other containers or is it just a box?
Just a box.